Hello and welcome to this video where we'll continue building our Taipy dashboard. So basically what we have built is a good foundation, but we will refactor this so that the code becomes more scalable and it's easier to work with when you want to build out the dashboard to make it bigger, larger project. So we will start with the dashboard that we have created in the previous video, and I've linked the previous video in the description. Take a look on that one if you haven't seen that. So let's head over to Visual Studio Code and let's head over to our Taipy app. So I'm here in Visual Studio Code and in the browser as well. So this is what the dashboard looked like. So this is the same as the one that we worked with last time. And if you look into the dashboard, it looks like this when we have it full screen, and we can filter here, and I can choose different filters and then filter the data, and you can see it changes. So here 8, I change it to 8, I can change to other fields. Yes, and yes, this dashboard is in Swedish. However, it doesn't matter as I've worked with all the Taipy code is in English, and the content could be basically whatever content you want depending on your data. And also in the end, we have the data frame, the raw data, so that you can look at it. Okay, so I will place this to the right, and I will work on the code. So I will give a little bit more space to the code. So just to explain how it looks like, we have, if I create a new terminal and I do 3 dot, and this is the current structure. So we have assets, we have data, we have explorations, we have front end, and then we have our main.py. And then we have our utils where we have the constants. So this is the folder structure right now. So what we should do first is to create a package so that we can install this. And the thing with package is that we can import things from sibling folders. What I mean, for example, now, if I go into front end, charts.py, and if I do something like from utils import utils.constants import data directory. The problem that I have, for example, I want to print the data directory. So if I run this one, you can see there's an error, no module named utils. And that is because we haven't packaged this so that it cannot find the utils folder when I run this script. So what should we do instead? So I run this one, I get this module not found error. So what we do need is something called a setup. So setup.py. So I place it in the root folder in my dashboard. And for the setup.py, we need something called setup tools. So from setup tools, import setup. Let's see, setup, yes. And then from, find packages. So what I want to do first is print, find packages, find packages. And when I run this one, you can see it's an empty list. And it's an empty list because it returns an empty list when it cannot find anything package. And how does it know anything to package? We need to indicate it adding dunder init.py. So I add it here, underscore init underscore .py, and I copy this file and I place it into front end. I place it into data we don't need, assets we don't need, front end, utils need one. And I will create another folder called backend. And here I will also place in this dunder init.py. And inside frontend, I will create a folder called pages. And inside of pages, I will paste this in as well. Okay, so I save all I close down all my Dunder inits and go into setup and run it again. And voila, now you can see there's a lot of packages that we find. So we find frontend, utils, backend, and frontend.pages. So these are the packages that I want to install when I'm packaging this. So I want to add this into, I want to be able to import from these modules. So what I do now is that I will create a setup, name equals to UH dashboard, version equals, let's see, 0.1, description, the description here. This package is used for creating a dashboard in Taipy. Creating H dashboard, YH is Kisaskula, basically the data we're working with. Author equals Coction. Author email equals at coolmail.com. Yeah. Okay, let's see it like this. Install requires. What do I require? I want to have pandas, of course. I want to have Taipy. I want to have DuckDB because I do some filtering in DuckDB. And what else do I need? We're reading from Excel, so we need to have OpenPy. And let's see, OpenPy Excel, like this. Yes. And then basically we do like this, packages equals to find packages, and I want to exclude a few packages. And what I want to exclude right now, this is generic. So in case I add some tests, I want to exclude them. I want to exclude explorations. I want to exclude assets. And that is it. Yeah, exactly. Because maybe I call the folder test, or I call it tests or testing, etc. Explorations. Yes, I want to exclude that one. Also, actually, it could be redundant to do this, but I do this anyway because I haven't done the init on these folders. But to be sure. Okay, so now you shouldn't run this directly. Instead, you should be like this. You should activate your virtual environment. So source.ven bin activate. Okay, and then let's see, ls, I have the setup here. So I do uv pip install -e dot. So this means that -e is editable, and then dot gives, like, we install it based on this folder. So that means that when I change something, then I don't need to reinstall the package. Instead, it is already, it will change when I update the files. Okay, and then there's an error, version 001. Why is this an error? Because I don't have a comma here. I have comma there. Okay, perfect. Rerun this one. Yes. So I've installed, I may have not used DuckDB in this project, but maybe you need it. However, YH dashboard, it installed. Okay, so installed YH dashboard and DuckDB because I haven't installed it before. Okay, so what else should we do? We can do like this. Now, let's go in and do our test. Charts.py, I import this one and I want to print data directory. Run this one. Let's see, from utils constant import no module named utils. Why is that? Let's see. So if I do uv pip show YH dashboard, and you can see that, let's see, it's there, YH dashboard, and then I should be able to import from utils. Let me try one more thing. If I do Python here, and I copy this code and see if it works. So I'm able to write out data directory now. Yes, exactly. And I get this data. Perfect. Close this one down. I don't know why you don't work. I run this one from utils constant import data directory. No module named utils. Okay, why is that? Need to change the virtual environment. No, it is correct. Let's see if I do like this, ls cd frontend ls. Yes, there's an init.py, and I do python charts.py, and it works. The problem is when I'm clicking the run button, for some reason, I'm not certain, but it doesn't matter because it works. So it means that the packaging works and we'll import it from our main. That is the idea. So I can remove this one as this one works now. So I don't need to do this test anymore. So let's head over to main. So here in our main, we have a lot of things that I don't want to be placed in the main. I want the main to be very slim, and I want to import everything to here. So what I should do first is in my backend, I will create a file called data processing.py. And in my data processing.py, I will go to main, and I will start with running this one to see that everything works. Yes, it seemed to work. Okay, so let's see. DF municipality. Yes, this should be moved as well. Okay, date. We start with moving these. So I'm moving DF and filter DF municipality. Move this one into data processing. Let me increase this one so that it's simpler. So I save this one. You can see there's data directory that I need. So the data directory, I need this one, and I need pandas. I will move them to my data processing here. And in my main, I will place in things from data processing. So from backend.data processing, import df, because I need df for, let's see, do I need df actually? We will see. We can remove things later. Let's see, filter. So I get df and I get filter df municipality I want to have. Let's see, filter df municipality like this. So I've saved this one. Let's see, filter df municipality is not defined exactly. So I need to rerun this one. And right now it works, I think. Yes, still working. Okay, so what have I done? I've moved data processing related code into data processing in the backend. And then in my main, I have imported the things I needed. Okay, so what else? We need. So I want to create pages, right? And I want to have this as one page. So I want to move everything here. I want to move the filter data. So this is based on the button, right? So when I click on the button, some updating is going on. So then I want to, in my backend, I want to create an update. Updates.py. And inside of my updates.py, I cut this out, place it into updates.py. We need filter df municipality, and then we don't need it here. So I copy this one first, go into updates, and we need create municipality bar. So I cut it out here, or I copy it first because I might need it in another place. Okay, so I cut it out here. So the filter, the updates, the filters are in the update. So I save this one and then I import this one. So let's see, from backend.updates, import what I want to import. Let's see what it's called. Filter data. Actually, I can increase the text a little bit. Filter data. Okay, save this one. And we should see that, Yes, it's still working, I think. The update, take care. Yes, it's working. Okay. So then we've taken care of updates. We want to go into frontend and start creating our pages. So inside of my pages, I want to create a new script called dashboard.py. And basically my dashboard.py, so this is my dashboard part, right? So I cut this out, place it into dashboard. And the thing is, in dashboard, we need to have some imports to make it work. So we need to have TGB. Actually, we need all of this, I think. Let's see, what else do I need? DF filter. So all of these are needed because all of these are used in this file here. And then from my main, I import. So from front end .pages .dashboard import. Let's see what I should call this. It's called page right now, but I can call it dashboard page. Import dashboard page. And then instead of page here, I should call it dashboard page. So I run this, rerun this one, and it still works. Yes, it still works. Yeah, no, it still works. Yeah, exactly. 5. Change this one to hotel. Yes, it works. Okay. So you can see the main.py has become very slim. So let's make it a little bit better. If the name equals to then the main, then I want to run this. So I give the preamble, the Python preamble. So rerunning this one, nothing changes. So what do I want to do? Now I have lifted this out. So I have my dashboard page here as the page. You can see GUI, it takes in pages. And the page is the dashboard page. And the dashboard page comes from 10 pages dashboard.py. And this is my dashboard page. Basically like that. But I want to have some more pages. For example, I want to have a data page. So data.py. And for my data page, I want to cut this part out, which is part of the data. I place it here. Let's see. This. Let's see, I do need to have with tgb dot page. Let me import tgb first. Import taipy dot gui dot builder as tgb with tgb dot with like this with tgb dot page as, let's see, what should this called? Data page. Okay. And I can see we have df here, so then we need to have df as well. So from backend dot data processing import df. And this is a variable data page that we can import from elsewhere. So I save this one. And what I want to do is in my main, I want to copy this one, frontend pages dot data import data page. Okay. And then I want to have pages equals to a dictionary. So I can call it data colon data page. Let's see what is the other one called, dashboard, right? So dashboard colon dashboard page. And then here, instead of dashboard page, I will call it pages equals to pages like this. Okay, so if I update this one, we can see we start with data because I've placed it as the first one actually. So that is the default one, but no matter, I will have another home default button, the default page. And you can see that here we have slash data. So if I do slash dashboard instead, then I come into the dashboard page. If I go into slash data, I come into the data page. Okay, that is cool. And then I want to also add a home here, home.py. And the home.py, just copy it from my notes, basically just some text. And some, I'll show you what this is soon. So if I reload this one, I need to import this one from frontend dot pages dot home import home page. And similarly, I will place this one first actually. So I will place it as home page. Okay, save this one, restart this one, and you can see that now it's in data, but if I go into slash, it will automatically redirect me to home. So my home looks like this, just some text. And then I can navigate to data, I can navigate to dashboard, I can navigate back to home. But as you're familiar with, it's better to have some navigation buttons, right? So that we can click here and some kind of nav bar. So let's go into home and do pgb.navbar. And you should place this one in all of your pages. So let me see. We have home, we have data page. Let's see here. TGB navbar, have our dashboard. After the container with pgb.navbar. So if I save this one, reload this one, you can see here's the navbar. If I click in data, and here's, okay, data doesn't have it. Let me see, because I didn't save it. So now data also have it. So dashboard, data, home. So this is the navbar. So that is quite cool. So by using this navigation bar, we can divide our dashboard into several pages. And you can see, actually, I want to have the dashboard before the data. So what you can do is basically just rearrange them. So cut this out. Okay, pages like this. Rerun this one, and you can see there's a dashboard first, and then there's data. And there's a warning here. Yeah, that's because I updated it. I don't think it's any problems. Yes. So basically, that is it for the refactoring part. And we have added some pages. So basically, I will go over this again so that it becomes clear. So I have pages dashboard.py. This is the layout for the dashboard. And what is special here is that we need to get the filter data from the updates. So I moved the data to there. And then I have another page for the data. And to navigate, we have the navbar. In main.py, we keep it slim and we just import the things that we need. So we need to import the different pages, the tabs, right? And then we create this Taipy app. And we also placed in data processing parts into the data processing module. So that is basically it. And some more small stuff that I want. So if I go into the dashboard and I decrease it, now it looks fine. Now it looks okay. Now it's good again. So actually I want it to be all in one row. So to do that, let's go into CSS. So I want to go into my CSS and I want to create a new called responsive screens.css. And for this, I will make a media query, screen, and max width. And here I will pick 760 pixels. And how to know pixels? You go into inspect, you go into this button here, and you can see here, you can drag it out. You can see how many pixels it is. So I think around 760. I want it to be stacked instead of having columns like this. And in order to do that, 700 pixel, we need to find out what this class is called. So here you can see it's called Taipy-layout. So it's a class. So basically, if you look into Taipy layouts, you can see this is the Taipy layout right now, and it has also some other CSS here, and it's a grid basically. So we need to override this. So basically, when the screen is this size, then I can style things so that these things will apply when the size of the width is 760 pixel at maximum. So let's say Taipy-layout. And basically what I want to do, instead of display grid, I want to display block. So then everything will stack. All right, because this one is not even loaded. So I need to import this. At import, let's see what it's called. It's called responsive greens.css semicolon. Reload this one. 713. Let me see. Okay, so now we see two columns. 700. Okay, still okay. There you can see 761, 760, and then exactly. So then it becomes block instead of columns like this. Okay, so you can see when you go from large screen down to smaller, there it jumps. Okay, so that's quite cool. So media queries, you can play around with that one. Actually, I want this text here, I want to make it indented so that it looks more like a title to this graph. And also I want to make it a little bit smaller. So I think I gave it a class last time. So if you look into this one, it's called, let's see, Taipy-text. And it's a div, and then we have an h2. So basically, I want to have some more assets here. Text.css. And then remember that we need to import this as well. Import text.css like this. And what Taipy text, right? So dot Taipy dash text, Taipy text, and then it's an h2. So this means that we go into this class, but to target this text, we need to go even further to find all the h2 that is under this tag. So here we can do like this. We want to have, actually, let me see. Oh no, it's because if I do Taipy text h2, then I will actually change all other ones. So I should give this one another class. Let's call it title chart. Title chart. Okay, so if I go into, let's say where it is, it's in pages, dashboard. It's in the chart, right? So here we have text, we have, here's the figure, and this one. So we just add a class name here. Class name, title dash chart. So title chart h2. So if I want to change, I could do like this: font size equals variable dash s0, for example. Rerun this one, and it becomes smaller. Okay, good. So it works. However, I want it to be somewhat bigger. Save this one. Okay, somewhat bigger. I want some indentation, padding left, or margin left actually. Margin left. Let me see, variable dash dash s4 maybe. Yes. And you can see we have, yeah, as far as okay, I think. Let's see if I make it big. I close this one down. Yeah. Okay, but I get margin here as well. I do margin left. Yes, somewhat. Let's see, margin. What do I do? Padding left. Price is the same. Okay, margin is more correct. It's a little bit. I can change margin bottom to 0. Okay, yeah. Okay, closer. We could actually, I think maybe the chart should, let me see, front end, charts.py. Did I change? Let me see. Did I update? Yeah, we can update the margins actually. Yes, so I added this line here in margin. So I decreased the margin so it looks a little bit better now. So I changed this one. Yeah, it looks okay. I could actually line them if I added. Let me see. Should I add a little bit more? Variable S4 plus point EM maybe. Okay, it doesn't work like that. No. Yeah, I will leave it like this. Or could, instead of having the variable, we could do it manually for rem. Let me see. More. 6 rem. 8. Okay. 9. Yeah, a little bit less. 8.5. Okay, looks good. So if I decrease this one, it should look the same. Yes. Yes, exactly. Okay. Yes, we changed that one. And also another thing I want to show you when it comes to styling is the text. So the text, I want to have another font family. Let's see, I want to have another font. So to get fonts, you do like this. Google fonts. And let's choose one that looks very weird so that we know that we have changed. And let's see. Yeah, let me pick this one. This one looks very distinct. So get font. Actually, I want to remove the other one. This one I want to have. So get embed code. And then we go into import. And you basically just copy this one. Copy it. And then we go into our imports. So main.css. And I will place it before the text, basically, like this. Or I could place it in the text. Since I have a text, I will place it in the text. Here. And then, in order to use these, so let us see how we use this one. So I want to change, let's see, before going to more specific styling, we go into more default styling. So H1, H2, H3, p tag, and then .typy -text, font family. Let's see, what is this one called? Schrift, like this. And then what you do, you need to have quotes. What you do is that you also add some default in case this one doesn't work. And I will call it sans serif. So run this one and you can see, it works. Actually quite neat font. Strange to read, but I will keep it actually. So that you can see that the font, changing fonts work. This one, I don't want it to be so long. So what I do is that I will have something called max text width. And I want the max width to be 70 characters, because that is basically, it will make from 60 to 70 characters, it's easier to read. It's hard to read when you go left to right when there's a very long line. Save this one, and then what I do is in my, let's see, home, here is my text. So what I do here is that I place in a class name dot or max text width, like this one. Okay, I'm quite satisfied with the refactoring and the design right now. Yes, so in this video we've worked with refactoring the code for this YH dashboard in Taipy, and we have gone into some styling, we have gone into some small cleanup to make it look better, to make it more easier to scale, since we have divided it into different modules, we have different scripts, we have done packaging of this using setup. So that means that it will be very simple for you to take this structure and build whatever dashboard you want. So this is super cool. So thank you for watching these videos, and see you in the next one. Bye.